So, now we have to consider different versions of the doctrine of Apoha. The Buddhists are saying that when I look at a pot before me and utter a descriptive sentence, this is a pot, the word pot does not relate with the particular thing pot, nor does it refer to the so called potness residing in the pot. That is because there are no real universals, and particulars being unique cannot be the meanings of words. And the third alternative, that a particular qualified by a universal is the meaning, is also not tenable, because a real particular cannot be qualified by an unreal universal. Hence, by using the word pot, I am only excluding the thing before me from non-pots. Hence, at the most I can say that using the word pot amounts to exclusion of a thing from non-pots. The Buddhist view on this was that there is no meaning which is both real and positive. This situation seems to allow at least two alternative explanations. One is the meaning is real but not positive. The word pot refers to something real but negative object. According to this explanation, exclusion from non-pot is regarded as the real meaning of the word pot, but this meaning has negative nature, namely exclusion. The second alternative is positive but not real. The word pot refers to a positive object, namely universal pot, but it is only a mentally constructed pot, not a real pot or real potness. The Apoha theory historically moves and develops around these alternatives. Sometimes the two alternatives are stated separately, sometimes they are mixed up, and sometimes they are accepted jointly. Dignaga is generally said to have accepted the first view, but when Jayanta Bhatta, the Nayayika, says that according to Buddhists, meanings are nothing but mental constructs, vikalpas, he is attributing the second view to the Buddhists. Dharmakirti in his explanation combines the two views. According to him, while applying a word to an object, our mind posits something common, similar among different similar objects, and thereby excludes the object from dissimilar objects. When Ratnakirti claims that Apoha stands for some positive element, that is vidhi, characterized by exclusion from the other, that is anyapoha, he is representing the fourth alternative. The essence of the doctrine of Apoha, as it is generally understood, however, lies in the view that meaning of a word is negative in nature, that is, it is exclusion from the other. So, the meaning of the word pot is not non-pot. Now, if we understand this doctrine of Apoha in this way, then we have to consider the criticism of the doctrine of Apoha also. There are a few questions about the exclusion as the meaning. For example, when I say cow means so and so, I am supposed to be giving some information, but if I say pot means not non-pot, I am not giving any information. This is the problem of tautology. The opponents would say that if meaning has exclusion, meaning as exclusion has to be informative, then it should have a positive counterpart, namely the real universal. B.K. Matilal has shown that in order to avoid commitment to universals in their talk of exclusion as the meaning, Buddhists interpret the two negations involved in the double negation of the form not non-cow differently. The first negation is represented by which is represented by the not is external negation, that is what is called prasajya pratishedha, whereas the second negation represented by non is internal negation, that is paryudas type of negation. But there will be another problem, even if the two negations are interpreted differently and it will be the problem of vicious circularity. To explain it in simple terms, suppose there are three types of things in the world, pots, cloths and cows. With reference to that world, suppose we ask a question, what is a pot? The Apohavadin's answer would be not non-pot, which will virtually mean other than a cloth and a cow. But the next questions will be, what is a cloth and what is a cow? And their respective answers according to Apoha theory will be other than pot and cow and other than pot and cloth. The answers will be unsatisfactory because they will move in a circle endlessly. By and large, it may be urged that if the meaning of a word is identified with the exclusion of others, then difficulties like tautology and circularity are insuperable. So, let us consider a more constructive account of the meaning which is based not on differences only, but also on similarities. So, we ask here the question, Apoha, is Apoha meaning or function? Whether or not exclusion can be regarded as the meaning of a word, the important role of exclusion in the identification of things cannot be denied. It is much more important for the Buddhists because according to them the world consists of unique particulars. The unique particular is unique in that it is excluded from everything else, both similar and dissimilar things. That is, it is called sajatiya, vijatiya, vyavritta. When we identify a thing by using a word, a common noun such as pot, we exclude the thing only from dissimilar things. In fact, by applying a word to a particular, we do two things. One, by producing a universal notion of the thing, we assimilate the thing with other similar things. This is one. And two, we exclude the particular from all dissimilar things. The first function is positive and the second is negative. Buddhists seem to think that the positive function is inauthentic because it imposes a false character, namely a universal character on the particular, whereas the negative function, namely that of exclusion, is authentic. If we consider this as the essence of the Buddhist doctrine of Apoha, then this also suggests that the doctrine of Apoha is more about the function of a word than about the meaning of a word. An important question about the theory of Apoha would be whether Apoha stands for the function of a word or the meaning of a word. The distinction is crucial as meaning is expressed, whereas a function is done or performed. Dignaga's discussion of the theory of Apoha suggests that according to Dignaga, exclusion is the function of a word and not meaning of it. Dignaga's Apoha theory seems to imply that the word cow refers to its object, namely the cow, by excluding it from all non-cows. It does not seem to imply that not non-cow is itself the meaning of the word cow. It is possible that opponents of Dignaga and consequently even some modern scholars interpreted the Apoha theory to mean that exclusion, that is not non-cow, a kind of negation, is the very meaning of the word cow, which was not intended originally by Dignaga. The issue needs to be pursued by the Buddhist scholars. Apoha theory is about function or meaning of a word. Now, let us turn to the question of sentence meaning. So, what is the nature of sentence meaning? The two contexts, namely those of word meaning and sentence meaning, are inseparable from each other. Dharmakirti's theory of word meaning necessarily assumes the form of the theory of sentence meaning, because words are supposed to mean something only insofar as they are used for forming a sentence by a speaker. In fact, it is not words that mean, but it is the speaker who means by using words. That is why vivaksha, intention of the speaker, which is regarded as the Bauddha artha, epistemic meaning, assumes a central role in Dharmakirti's approach to sentence meaning. According to this, to understand meaning of a sentence is to understand what the speaker of the sentence intends to say by uttering the sentence. This intention of the speaker is supposed to be known through inference, because the speech act is the effect of the speaker's intention, and hence it would be an inference of cause from effect, that is karyanumana. It has to be noted that this cause effect relation between desire to speak and the utterance of a sentence is not a relation of natural, that is cosmocentric or person independent manifestation, but it depends on human convention and also human capacity to construct new sentences from old words. The process of communication can be described by referring to Dignaga's statement, which means words are caused by mental constructions and mental constructions are caused by words. Vikalpa hetava shabdaha vikalpa shabda hetavaha. Though the statement appears as a general description of the bilateral causal relation between words and mental constructions, it can be construed as a description of the communication situation. The first part of the statement refers to speaker's act of uttering a sentence, and the second part of the sentence refers to the listener's act of understanding the meaning of it. The speaker has intended meaning in the form of vikalpas, which he expresses through words, and when the listener hears the words, the meaning in the form of vikalpa arises in his mind. So, in this way communication takes place according to Dignaga and Dharmakirti. Thank you.